Okay, guys, a few people after Expono were asking me, hey, did you sour on Popori? I didn't see a whole lot of videos from the Expono room. What's going on? I'm like, trust me, guys, two reasons why. Number one, the Popori room was packed, even all the way up to Sunday. There was a guy listening after hours on Sunday at Expono and actually ended up buying a pair. And I'm going to probably carry some testimonials from him when he gets his, because it's very interesting what he said. And number two, I have so much more content coming about potpourri. I knew in advance I was going to have a lot of potpourri content, so I didn't want to overdose it. You know, I'm not one of these guys that wants to brainwash you. Whatever I like, you have to like. But what I like to do, and what I'm going to do today, is show you not just my opinion, other people's opinions. So what I have today is a potpourri install of the WR1s with John Harlow, a guy I've featured on my channel before, and what he thinks of them and what it replaced. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel. If you want to jump ahead to John Harlow's testimony on the potpourris, I'll have a chapter. What I wanted to do in this video is kind of get you caught up with some housekeeping. Number one, I was only in town for a few days from Malaysia, went to Dallas to do this potpourri install, but I actually have even more content while I was there than I thought. Yes, I have this install and you're going to see the testimonial, but I filmed some other stuff that's very interesting. We hooked up one of his prior speakers, one channel of the Sonus Faber Aidas and one channel of the Popori WR1s. And that was very enlightening to be able to hear real time how two different types of point source versus line source can present to you. And very few people have ever done real time that kind of a A/B, and I've got some video content to even share with you on that. On top of that, I have some content where I went to visit Chris. He used to be with Rhapsody Audio, the dealership I've featured in the past, in his amazing room that he built out in Dallas. It's a little bit further north near Grapevine. Amazing 2 rooms. You've got to watch those videos. Maybe I'll pop up a link for you if you haven't watched those. But he's on his own now. It's with Euphoria Audio. And let me tell you guys, this is an amazing place, and now it's the 3rd time I visited with him. He's going to be elevated. I haven't been updating my website. I apologize, guys. I'm going to be starting to list my recommended dealers, brands, and all that. I haven't done that in a while, updated my website. I'm going to be doing that, and he's definitely getting on the list now that I've had 3 different exposures to him. And just to give you guys a little FYI and housekeeping, I came home with something that he represents. Argento Audio. This is the outlet that I featured at Rick Brown's place. He got one from a friend of his in the industry, and he's already installed it and swears by it. Now, let me just tell you guys, this is going to be triggering, so I'm just going to show it to you briefly, and you can pass up this video in the future when I talk about it. But I just want to show you real quick, for those in the hobby that like to look at, you know, the Ferraris of outlets, you know, this thing is crazy. It's in a nice box, but this is the outlet I featured at Argento at Rick Brown's house. And let me go ahead and get this out the way. $5,000. Okay, so go ahead. You know, I'm rolling my eyes as well with you guys. And you know, normally this is not going to be but for the 0.1% of audiophile. However, and I'm not a huge tweak guy. Even with cable elevators, I mainly do it for cable management, not for performance benefit. Unless it's like something like parallel to power cords or something, there can be some benefits to even elevators. But I'm very particular about tweaks not going overboard on those. This, though, actually is made by a physicist, actually is behind this company. And if anything, if you've been watching my channel, I've been talking about the benefit of better cables. Usually isn't even in the conductor and geometry. Those are important, but it's in the connection quality. Just doing that connection quality. And I've had videos with Jeff of Blue Jeans Cable where we even showed measurements how the connection quality is better. I've even shown in the Angela Gilbert Young custom power conditioner, which many of you have ordered already, have been interested in. Reach out to me if you're interested. I hardwired instead of having an IEC. Well, this is the Ferrari of doing it. And I've shown you, if you can't afford this, which 99.99% aren't going to spend for this, the Hubble hospital grade and my Dallas coverage. Look at my playlist there. I have the outlet for you. That's all you really need. And I've tested it in the Angelo Gilbert Young Power Conditioner. Phenomenal. But this thing is just next level. I mean, it is just insane. So I am going to install this at my Airbnb and give you guys a report. But as of now, it's just unbelievable. The anecdotal reports I've been getting from people I know and customers of Chris, who he gives it to them on try it and bring it back if you don't like it. Nobody's returned it yet. So just an FYI of what else is going to be coming from this Dallas show. But without further ado, let me walk you through the testimonial from John Harlow, and his words speak for itself. But again, this speaker is really resonating with a lot of people. So, and also I still have content from Exponent where Mike Sweck is going to give you testimonials that came in the room. Clayton Shaw with Spatial Audio's fame and Caledon, he's ordered some for a dealership he's starting. There's so many testimonials coming from Exponent. So anybody that was wondering where was my potpourri coverage from Exponent and further, coming a lot soon. Stay tuned. The proof is from the owner. You know, here's a case where the Popori WR1s replaced one of the best speakers in the world, point source box speaker, Sonus Faber Aida. This is not a cheap speaker. This is not a poor speaker by any stretch. John has been in the hobby for many years. Let me just go through his gear if you haven't seen. Burmester, top notch. Joe Fenninger, the guy who does the custom tube amps, built some amps. He's using those on the potpourri. These are low watt tube amps that you can use on the potpourris. Subs by JL Audio. And the Bach has been instrumental, but I'm going to let basically Joe tell you what he thinks. It doesn't matter what I think, but what did you think?
Well, I just made the comment that this is better than I could have expected. And it took us a long time to get my room set up, to get all the wiring straightened out. So we wasted an hour, but I apologize for that. I told them I've been waiting. I'm sorry they waited a long time to hear the music in my room, but I've been waiting for this since I was 12 years old. So this is as good as it gets. And I couldn't be more pleased. The spatial numbers were where?
Yeah, you were getting spatial cues, 20 dB crosstalk cancellations, definitely in the high teens for most of the meat of the music. So that was the biggest delta that we saw with measurements from going from the Aidas to the potpourris. Is he got a lot more crosstalk cancellation with the Bach. These are very directional speakers. They kind of take the room out of the equation. They disappear, as I mentioned in another YouTube short I released or will release. Line sources, open baffles, just present the music in front of you instead of shouting it. And I think a lot of these things are what John is getting as part of the equation, but you can't get a better testimonial than this is what you've been waiting since 12 years old.
Yeah. So this sort of proves a strategy. And I used to have an Arender N20 or N10. Used to have AccuPhase room correction. Had an AccuPhase DAC that cost $25,000 or suggested price. My Aidas were Triumph with Burmester amps. And the Bach allowed me to sell the Arender, both pieces of render gear, which more than paid for the Bach. The room sounded better. I got involved with these tube amps with Joe. Love the way the tube amps sound. So now I'm able to part, because of the efficiency, as well as the quality of the sound from the potpourris, I'm able to go towards tube amps and have a whole better system. And I think when I sell the Aidas, it'll more than pay for the potpourris, or at least be an even trade. So in a sense, the old stuff seems to be better than the new. The Bach makes everything complete, and the potpourris just complete the equation. So I'm blown away. He's filming this at the right time. I'm just literally stunned at how good this sounds.
That's awesome. Yeah, and Van has the exact same pair, and his feedback was very similar to your feedback. And again, this is why I found these speakers, because it had that same impression on me. There was no other reason. I wasn't looking for speakers, but once you hear it, it's hard to go back. And so, yeah, thank you for having us.
Let me say something about Mike Sweck. Flew out here from Florida. We're in Dallas, Texas. Jason came up from Houston, and a lot of people say that the dealers claim that they provide the service and the hands-on stuff. Well, these guys literally did it. Made great effort to get here. Did the same thing in Raleigh. Did the same thing for me. So it's a 5-star event around here. So don't mess around. Call these guys up and get going.
Well, yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, Mike is somebody I wouldn't be associated with if I wasn't comfortable. There's a lot of good people in the hobby, a lot of good dealers. But, for me to actually partner with somebody, to actually come on trips, to, trust to buy my own pair from here and put my name behind a speaker, at least endorsing it. Yeah, this is important, that everything from the people behind the brand, which we've had great contact with, Mike Sweck, having a lot of experience at shows, and then great customers are also part of the equation too. I mean, knowledgeable customers, people that really can appreciate good sound, have the legacy of experience. This is all makes it worthwhile in the hobby to deal with. And, John, you've been a part of the Bach family and been in our WhatsApp group for a long time. You're such a valued member. And again, I encourage anybody that wants to, you can be part of our group as well. It's very easy to become part of our group. So reach out to me if you want to learn anything more. Mike Sweck for the Poporis. If you're in Dallas, maybe John will host you, but reach out to me first. I'll screen everybody for you, John. But thanks again for having us, and let me go ahead and record some music clips for you guys.